Hey everyone, welcome to Common Ground Daily, and today we're diving into something big. Project 2025. Picture this, over 100 conservative groups banding together to craft a blueprint for a second Trump term. It's ambitious, controversial, and sparking serious debate. This isn't just some fringe manifesto, it's a detailed plan to overhaul the federal government. We're talking potential seismic shifts in education, environmental regulations, even the balance of power itself. So buckle up because we're about to unpack Project 2025 and what it means for the future of American democracy. One of the most talked about aspects of Project 2025 is its approach to the federal workforce. Imagine a massive personnel shakeup, replacing thousands of career civil servants with individuals vetted for their political ideology. This plan hinges on the Day One Personnel Database, a list of pre-approved candidates ready to step into key positions. Proponents argue this is essential to dismantling the so-called deep state. Critics see this as a blatant power grab that could cripple the impartial functioning of government agencies. We're talking about scientists at the EPA, economists at the Treasury, lawyers at the Justice Department, their expertise replaced by political allegiance. The potential for politicization is immense and the consequences could be dire. Project 2025 envisions a presidency with significantly more direct control over the executive branch. Agencies like the DOJ, FBI, FCC, and even the Federal Reserve would become more directly accountable to the president. Supporters argue this streamlines decision-making and ensures the president's agenda isn't stymied by unelected officials. Critics warn of a dangerous erosion of checks and balances, creating a breeding ground for potential abuse and authoritarianism. Concentrating so much power in one individual could undermine the very foundations of American democracy. One of the most radical proposals in Project 2025 calls for the complete dismantling of the Department of Education. This shift would return control of education to individual states, empowering local communities and allowing for greater parental involvement. Critics fear this would exacerbate existing inequalities in the education system. They argue that a strong federal role is essential to ensure equal access to quality education. Without federal oversight, disadvantaged students could be left behind, widening the achievement gap. Eliminating the department could have devastating consequences for millions of students. Project 2025 takes a starkly different approach to environmental policy, particularly climate change. The plan calls for rolling back existing environmental regulations, arguing they stifle economic growth. Supporters often downplay the urgency of climate change, viewing regulations as government overreach. Critics see this as a reckless disregard for the planet's health and future generations. They argue that climate change is a real and present danger, supported by overwhelming scientific evidence. Rolling back environmental protections prioritizes short-term economic gains over the long-term well-being of the planet. Project 2025 also wades into social policy, advocating for a return to traditional values. This includes limiting access to abortion, strengthening immigration enforcement, and promoting family-first policies. Supporters see this as a necessary course correction to restore a moral compass. Critics view this as an attempt to impose a narrow set of values on a diverse population. They argue these policies infringe on individual rights and disproportionately harm marginalized communities. Critics fear Project 2025's emphasis on traditional values masks a regressive agenda. So there you have it, a glimpse into the ambitious, controversial vision laid out in Project 2025. It's a plan that has ignited fierce debate, with supporters praising its boldness and critics decrying its potential to upend the balance of power. Whether you see it as a necessary course correction or a dangerous power grab, one thing is clear: Project 2025 demands our attention. Its proposals, if implemented, would have far-reaching consequences, shaping the lives of Americans for generations. Let us know in the comments, is Project 2025 the reset America needs, or too much power in too few hands? Subscribe to Common Ground Daily to stay up to date. Thanks for watching.